You ever notice how some of the most amazing new ideas aren't really new at all? Yeah, they're usually just these really clever combinations of things we already know and love, just, fused together to create something totally fresh. Well, today we're looking at a perfect example of that, a brand new logic puzzle that somehow feels both completely familiar and totally original at the exact same time. I mean, it's a weird question, right? But believe it or not, that is the exact idea behind a new logic puzzle app called Fuse Cells. It literally takes the DNA from some of the most legendary puzzle games ever made and just launches them into this whole new cosmic setting. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, think of it this way. From Sudoku, it's grabbing that pure number-based deduction. For Minesweeper, it's taking that neighbor logic, where a clue tells you only about the cells right next to it. And from Nonograms, it's using those hints to slowly reveal a bigger hidden pattern. Fuse Cells basically just rolls all three of those into one sleek, space-themed experience. All right, so let's dive into the grid and see what this cosmic challenge is really all about. Okay, so the basic idea here is actually super simple. You've got a grid, and your job is to fill every single cell with one of three symbols: a planet, a star, or a moon. And your only clues? These numbers scattered on the grid. Each number tells you exactly how many of the cells touching it, up, down, left, and right, have to contain the very same symbol as the cell that the number is in. Simple, right?
So how do you actually play this thing? What does a single turn feel like? Turns out, it's surprisingly intuitive.
The whole gameplay loop is this really clean four-step dance. First, you look at the hints. Second, you take a shot and place a symbol. Third, you get instant color-coded feedback on your move. And fourth, you use that new information to deduce your next placement. It's just this constant, satisfying cycle of logic and reward. And that feedback system, that's the secret sauce. It's so simple, but so powerful. Green means a hint's condition is perfectly satisfied. You nailed it. Yellow means the condition could still be met. It's still possible. And red means, uh-oh, you've created a logical contradiction. It's impossible. These colors guide you every step of the way without ever just giving you the answer. Now, this whole simple feedback system, it all supports the most important part of this game's entire design, its core philosophy. This right here, this is the developer's central promise to you, the player. I'm sure you've played puzzle games where you get stuck in a corner and you're forced into a 50-50 guess, right? Well, not here. Every single level is designed so it can be solved with pure deduction. If you're stuck, it's not because the game is unfair. It just means there's a logical connection that you haven't spotted yet. And this no guessing rule is a huge part of its appeal, for sure. But there's more. The free version has 0 ads. The entire game works fully offline, which is perfect for a commute or a flight. And the design is so clean and minimalist, it just lets you focus on the puzzle, whether you have 5 minutes to kill or a whole hour. You know, the game's development is a fascinating story all on its own. This isn't some big budget release from a giant studio. It's a passion project from an indie developer, and you can really see that commitment in how quickly it's been updated. Just look at this timeline from the first few weeks alone. The game launches on November 19th. Less than a week later, boom, minor fixes are out. By December 1st, it's got support for 9 new languages. 4 days after that, native iPad support. I mean, that incredible pace just shows you this is a developer who is actively listening to their players and putting in the work. And the business model, it's just so refreshingly simple. The free version is actually really generous. It gives you 50 levels in each sector plus daily challenges. The pro version, it just unlocks everything else. That's it. No complicated in-game currencies, no timers, no nonsense. And how much does this full premium experience cost? A one-time purchase of $3.99. For that, you get access to all 2,500 plus puzzles and all future content. It's such a simple, transparent model that honestly feels like a throwback in today's world of complex in-app purchases. So what does a game like this really mean? Could this be pointing towards a new direction for the whole puzzle genre? I think it suggests that innovation doesn't always mean you have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes it's about taking the absolute best parts of what came before, these proven mechanics that players have loved for decades, and just combining them with a modern player-focused design that actually respects your time and your intelligence. Which leaves us with one final question to chew on. In a digital world that's just saturated with copies and clones, is it possible that the most creative thing you can do isn't starting from scratch, but skillfully fusing the best of the past to create the future? What do you think?